Hey everybody, welcome to the Mark Parham podcast. You can follow me online by typing in Mark Parham podcast and it should pop up. So I was looking at boxing yesterday, like some of the highlights, and it was Teofimo Lopez, if I'm pronouncing his name right, and Shakur Stevenson, or however you pronounce his name, I'm sorry, but they're, two boxers I really don't pay attention to. And I put the correct spelling, in the title and stuff. But I didn't expect Shakur Stevenson to sit up and win. I'm going to be honest with you. I mean, a lot of people were saying, he doesn't have power and things like that. And I'm surprised that he actually won. Like, I've seen Teofimo Lopez, and, he's a very good boxer when he's on his game. And that's his name, Shakur Stevenson. I've seen Teofimo Lopez. He's a very good boxer when he's on his game. But it's just like, I am amazed that Shakur Stevenson won. I mean, seriously, I am. I mean, normally I watch a lot of boxing, and normally I can tell, if a fighter is going to win or lose. Like, I've watched so much boxing where I'm like, okay, I know this guy is quick. This guy's going to beat this guy, blah, blah, blah. But this is a fight where I did not expect Shakur Stevenson to win. I mean, I know some folks, who are his fans, like real hardcore fans, said, oh, well, we knew he was going to win. But from a person like me who watches a lot of boxing, I thought Teofimo was going to win this. And Teofimo has, I've seen him just go out there and box and look spectacular. And, for someone like Shakur Stevenson to win, maybe Teofimo was not taking this fight seriously or anything, but a lot of folks say Shakur Stevenson doesn't have a lot of power. Who knows? Maybe that's a myth. But it's just like, he's somebody where if you looked at his previous fights against people, I mean, I'm talking about Shakur Stevenson, you would say to yourself, like, okay, he's a good boxer, but, he isn't that good. And, who knows? Sports is interesting because people can improve. Maybe Shakur Stevenson has improved. But for Teofimo to go out there and lose like this is just amazing to me. And I've been looking at the highlights and stuff like that, and I've just been shocked because I've seen Teofimo go out there and just dominate and do his thing. And I mean, he came out and was fighting, and maybe he didn't take it seriously. Maybe he needs another trainer. Maybe, after the fame and fortune has gotten to him where he's become lazy, but this wasn't what I expected. Wasn't what I expected at all. And this goes to show you in sports, you never know what's going to happen. You never know what's going to happen after the day. I mean, I saw one boxing match where I think it was, yesterday also. And, guy lost his hair or something like that. So now everything's happening in sports. You don't know, I would say you can't predict anything now. I mean, now you don't have fighters where you're like, okay, I know this person's going to win. I mean, now what's happening with sports, the person you think is going to win might end up losing. And so, again, people are going to, feel a way about what I'm saying, but I did not expect Shakur Stevenson to win, and I'm still shocked. And so this is, it's good for his career. He's shut up a lot of the haters and doubters who said, oh, well, he doesn't have any power or he can't, fight well. And so, a lot of people are going to have to reconsider, what they've been saying about him. And so I hope that this is a huge stepping stone for his career. I hope that he keeps on improving from this point on. And I wish nothing but the best for him. And the good thing about Shakur Stevenson is he has a lot of good people in his corner. Like, he's somebody that a lot of boxers, talk to and things like that. And so as long as he keeps on learning, going to the gym, working hard, not getting, arrogant and thinking that, I know everything about boxing, sky's the limit for his career. And he's got good people around him. He's a person that, for what he did last night, he's doing the right things. And so for Teofimo to lose like this, I mean, I guess it's back to the drawing board for him. And when you lose certain fights, then it gets to the point where people don't take you as serious as they used to. I mean, I remember when Teofimo was winning in the past, he had sort of a reputation where folks are like, you know what, I don't want to get in the ring with this guy. This guy's the truth. And now it's like that whole mystique is gone. And so, it is what it is. But congratulations to Shakur Stevenson. Also, one thing I want to say about boxing is that I'm seeing, new people get involved in boxing, and I think it's a good thing. I mean, I know some folks have been sort of, talking about, certain things and stuff like that, but boxing needs new investments. It needs, new energy, new fighters. And so, people need to realize the Floyd Mayweather era is over. As far as, Floyd Mayweather's retired, he left at the top, which is great. And now it's time for a lot of these newer players to start, newer boxers and stuff to start taking over. And like I said, I'm liking that, boxing is getting back to being more international. People are having fights overseas and things like that. And so getting new people, new investors that want to invest into boxing and, make it world class and actually, want to, have them in different arenas in different places. I think it's amazing. I think that, boxing needs to move beyond just always having, huge fights in Las Vegas. Maybe take a fight to China, maybe take a fight to Brazil. That's one thing about the UFC. Like, the UFC is very international. Like, you'll see something in Brazil, you'll see something in, a country in Europe, you'll see something in Canada. Like, you'll see stuff all, around the world. And I think that boxing needs to get back to that. Like, who knows? Have a major fight somewhere in Japan or something. Have a fight in Brazil. Have a fight in, who knows, Sweden, wherever. It's just like, get back to, promoting boxing correctly. And I think with some of these wealthy investors, that's what's going to happen. And so I'm very happy to see that, people are looking at boxing in new ways. I mean, the Floyd Mayweather era, that sort of era of the 90s, 2000s, early 2000s fighter and stuff, that era is over after the day, where you had Don King and some of those folks that were promoting fights. That era is over. And so now, you have to have somebody that's willing to invest in digital platforms and social media and things like that. And so, I think boxing is going to improve. I hope it does, because it's a sport I like. And, it's going to be interesting to see what the next, era of boxing is going to be. So that's just my opinion. But congratulations to Shakur Stevenson. As far as Teofimo, I'm very surprised that he lost the way he did. And, hopefully he goes back to the drawing board and becomes the fighter that he used to be. So in the comment section, let me know how you feel. And that's all I have to say. Thank you.